Hello everyone, welcome to my virtual classroom. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about human eye, its construction and working. As you all know, this topic is very important, right? So let's start studying this topic without further delay. Okay. So before we study or explore about what all parts our eye contains, okay, what are the different parts of it? Before that, let's try to understand what is its importance or what is human eye. So if someone asks you generally like what is human eye, so simply you will say that it is something which helps us to see, right? But according to physics, its definition will be it is a naturally occurring optical device. Now, why do we say that optical device? Because it's related to light. It helps us to see the light which we have around us, right? It deals with the light refraction. So that's why it is a naturally occurring. It occurs naturally. Okay. So it's a naturally occurring optical device which gives us sensation of vision. In general, we can say that eye helps us to see different objects around us. So as you can see here in this image, eye has many parts, right? So this is that naturally occurring. This is that naturally occurring device which is known as eye. So eye is basically a naturally occurring optical device. Okay, so naturally occurring optical device. Now, from outside, when you see eye, there you can see these eyelids, right? Then eyebrows, then it has pupil, this dark colored spot, then eyelashes, then eyelids, iris, and many other parts. So basically, we are going to explore about these parts one by one. Yes. So definition of human eye, as I already told you, what is human eye? It is a naturally occurring optical device. Naturally because we get it by nature, right? Then naturally occurring optical device. Why it is known as optical device? Because it deals with the light. Light rays fall on it and they get refracted and they converge and form the image on the screen which is known as retina, isn't it? So that's why it is known as optical device. It gives us sensation of vision, means it helps us to see different objects around us. We are able to enjoy this beauty of nature because of this natural gift which is human eye, which is eye. Now, what is the shape of this eye? Can't you see? Like, yes, it's looking like a sphere, like a spherical ball, right? So, the shape of human eye is spherical, like a ball. So, it is spherical in shape. And the diameter of this sphere or spherical ball, this diameter is around 2.3 centimeter. So the human eye is a naturally occurring optical device which gives us sensation of vision, and its shape is spherical in shape. It is spherical in shape like a ball, and the diameter of this spherical ball or human eye is 2.3 centimeter. Okay, so that's important. I hope you have understood this. Now let us move to the construction. What are the major parts by which human eye is made up of, and then how does these part work? Okay, so right now construction. So the outermost bulging part of the human eye, this is known as cornea. Okay, so cornea is this outermost bulging part of the eye. So that is known as cornea. What is cornea? It is the outermost bulging part. Bulging part means it's bulged outwards, right? Like this. So this part is outermost bulging part, and this outermost bulging part of the eye is known as cornea. Then this cornea, what is it made up of? It has transparent and tough membrane. So this membrane of the cornea, okay, that is transparent and it's little tough. It's not soft. It's tough means it's rigid. Okay, fine. So cornea is nothing but outermost bulging part of the eye, and it has transparent and tough membrane. Clear? And where is this cornea present? It is here. This is the cornea. Okay, fine. Now the next one is aqueous humor. Now what do you mean by aqueous humor? Aqueous humor is nothing but it is a this part behind the cornea. It is filled with some transparent fluid. So this transparent fluid or this fluid is known as aqueous humor. So aqueous humor, it is a liquid that is present behind the cornea. Where is it present? It is present behind the cornea. So first part we have discussed about is cornea. Then second part which we are discussing behind the cornea, what do we have? Aqueous humor. Okay. Now, after this, we have iris. Now, this is that part which is known as iris. Okay. Now, this iris is, what is iris? Iris is nothing but it is a circular colorful diaphragm. You people, if you observe your eyes, you might have seen some of us have black colored eye, some of us have blue colored eye, right? And that circular diaphragm which is responsible to give color to the eye. This iris, it gives color to the eye. Okay. So this circular diaphragm which is present here, okay, that circular diaphragm or colorful diaphragm is which is present behind the aqueous humor, that is just after this aqueous humor, it is known as iris. Now what is the function of this iris? It controls and regulates, we can say, the amount of light entering the eye, and it has a hole at the center. So we all have a small hole at the center, and that hole is nothing but pupil. So the hole at the center of the iris is known as pupil. And what is aqueous humor? It is a liquid which is present behind the cornea. And iris is a circular colored or diaphragm which is responsible for giving the color to the eye. Okay. And at the center of the iris we have pupil. Fine. So let us study about it. So now let's discuss about pupil. So what is pupil? As we have already discussed about the pupil, a hole at the center of the iris. So this is iris, and at the center of this iris there is a hole which is known as pupil. Then ciliary muscles after pupil, and this pupil again, when you enter a room where you have so much intensity, suppose, or if suppose when you enter a room where cinema hall, you have complete darkness, so all of a sudden when you enter you are not able to see anything, but then after some time your pupil relaxes and then you are able to see even in that darkness, right? So this is because of the pupil which controls and regulates the amount of light entering the eye. Then ciliary muscles. So after next to it is ciliary muscles. Now these ciliary muscles, these are these muscles. Okay. So these ciliary muscles, their function is to hold the eye lens. So you can see this is the eye lens. So this is eye lens is convex in shape. So the ciliary muscles, they hold this eye lens. Okay. they hold this eye lens. So this eye lens is held in its position with the help of these ciliary muscles. So this the muscles that hold the eye lens, and this eye lens is also what type of eye lens? It's a crystalline lens, like a crystal. And what is the shape of this eye lens? These eye lens, it is convex in shape. Fine. So first we have cornea, after cornea aqueous humor, then after aqueous humor iris, which gives color to the eye. Then at the center of the iris we have a hole, and that hole is known as pupil. Then after pupil we have ciliary muscles. We have ciliary muscles after this pupil. Okay. Then the ciliary muscles, after the ciliary muscles, next will be, yes, vitreous humor. So this eye lens, crystalline lens, and then vitreous humor. So this eye lens, crystalline lens, it is again this lens, convex lens is naturally occurring. So naturally occurring convex lens that is held in its position with the help of ciliary muscles. So these ciliary muscles, they are responsible, these suspensory ligaments, these are only ciliary muscles. So these ciliary muscles, they are responsible for holding the eye lens in its position. Okay. And then next to it, there is a space, this region. So this region is vitreous chamber, where it is filled with a jelly-like fluid which is known as vitreous humor. Okay, this vitreous humor, it is a jelly-like fluid which is filled in the region vitreous chamber, region between the lens and the retina. Now, what is retina? Let us explore about it in the next slide. Right, retina. Now, retina is nothing but it's a screen where the image is formed. Okay, like when you go to cinema hall, you can see the picture on the screen, right? So that screen helps us to project the images there. So in the same way, here whatever we see around you, suppose right now in the room where I'm sitting, I can see different objects. So when I'm trying to see all those objects, the image of all these objects, light rays from those objects come and strike or enter my eyes through the cornea and then pupil, and then the image is formed. They converge because it's a converging lens, convex lens, and they converge those light rays and they form, they meet on the retina, and this retina, it acts like a screen. Fine. So retina is nothing but the innermost light sensitive membrane. This membrane is light sensitive membrane. Now this retina, it contains rod shaped cells, rod shaped and cone shaped cells. Now these rod-shaped and cone-shaped cells, they respond to the color and the intensity of the light. Means you are able to differentiate between different colors because of these cells, and you are also able to differentiate between when too much light comes, then you close your eyes, right? There you need when you are in a room where you have enough light and it's too bright, then your eyelids get closed, okay, and very less light is required. And when you enter a dark room, you need more amount of light, so at that time your this pupil relaxes. So this is what happens because of this rod shaped cells, and cone shaped cells, they respond to the colors, right? And this region, or this region where the light rays, they converge and they meet, that region is known as retina. That screen is known as retina. Now blind spot. Now can you see here, there is a optic nerve. There is a place on the retina from where optic nerve originates. Means this optic nerve, it carries the signals to the brain. Okay, it converts those images into electrical signals and it carries those signals to the brain, and then our brain interprets it and helps us to see and identify the different objects that we see. Then, blind spot is the region on the retina where the optic nerve originates and it is totally insensitive to the light. Now remember, if your converged rays will go and meet here on the blind spot, so then in that case you won't be able to see. So this region is insensitive. This region is insensitive to the light. Means even if the image is formed here, if the image is formed here, you won't be able to differentiate or identify those images. Okay. So blind spot is the region on the retina which is insensitive to the light and from where the optic nerve originates and it carries the signals to the brain. Now, working of human eye. How our human eye works? So the light rays, what happens is whenever you see any object, suppose this is an object, right? Suppose this pencil. So when you see this pencil, light rays from this pencil originate, many rays originate, and as from cornea it converges, these converged rays go and meet from the lens, again they get converged and they form the image, they meet on the retina. So most of the refraction it occurs by the cornea only. So cornea it refracts most because cornea's shape is little convex, so it already refracts or converges. Most of the convergence takes place by the cornea. Then remaining convergence, these converged rays, it enters the eyes through the pupil, and iris controls and regulates the amount of light entering the eye through the pupil. Fine. So cornea performs most of the convergence, and then though that converged rays it goes to the through the pupil, it strikes the crystalline lens. Then pupil, it contracts and relaxes depending upon the intensity. If the intensity is more, if the intensity of light around you is more, then it contracts. And if the intensity of the light around you is less, then it relaxes and it allows more light to enter. And then the light undergoes further refraction by the eye lens. So this eye lens, it again performs further refraction, and those refracted rays converge and they meet on the retina. And what is retina? It acts as a screen, and the image then it gets converted into signals, electrical signals, and then optic nerve carries it to the brain, and then brain interprets this image. So this is the ray diagram to understand how the image formation takes place. Suppose this is the tree. This tree is the object, and let us say that we are observing this tree. Okay, right now your eyes are able to see the tree. So that tree, from that tree we need, as we have studied in the previous chapter, that we need only two rays are sufficient to find the image, but there are many rays coming out. Let us say ray number 1, ray number 2, ray number 3, and ray number 4. These are the four rays. Two rays from the top point, two rays from the bottom point, because these two rays will give the image of the top point and these two rays will give the image of the bottom point. So these rays, when they strike the cornea, they get converged. From the cornea only they get converged. Then again here they again get converged and they form the image. Now look here. This tree's image, this top point's image is formed here and bottommost point's image is formed here. So the tree appears to us inverted. So this image is real and inverted. What type of image is formed on the retina? Real and inverted images formed. And this real and inverted image it converts into signal, and then those signals go to the brain through the optic nerve, and then brain helps us to see the objects as straight. Okay, clear? So in this way, the image formation takes place in case of human eye. So what type of image is formed? The image formed by human eye on the retina is real and inverted. Why it is real image? Because it is obtained when the rays of light actually meet at a particular point because of actual intersection of rays of light. So that's why it's real image. And the image is inverted, but then brain identifies and helps us to see the straight objects. So once again, let us quickly revise. The outermost bulging part is known as cornea. Then behind the cornea, we have aqueous humor. Then after that, we have this iris, and this iris at the is the iris is the circular colorful diaphragm which is responsible for giving colors to the eyes. Then after iris, we have at the center of the iris we have pupil. That pupil controls and regulates the amount of light entering the eye by contracting and relaxing depending upon the available intensity. Then after that we have crystalline lens which is held in its position by the muscles which are known as ciliary muscles. These ciliary muscles, what do they do? Depending upon the position of the object, it increases and decreases the focal length of the lens by stretching it and making it thin, and by not stretching it, contracting it, and making it thin, depending upon whether you are trying to see the nearby object or far object. Okay, and then these rays, converged rays, they go and after they pass through the jelly-like fluid which is known as vitreous humor, and from there they go and meet on the retina, and this on this retina, it acts as a screen where we have rod-shaped cells and cone-shaped cells which respond to the color and intensity of the light, and they form the real and inverted image. Then they get converted into electrical signals, and the optic nerve carries it to the brain, and the point from where the optic nerve originates, that point is known as blind spot, and it brain interprets this image, these signals, and then helps us to see the objects as straight. Fine. So now as we have we studied about the construction and working of human eye, I hope you have understood it. So now I want you all to go through these questions, some practice questions, and yes, don't forget to comment the answers of these questions in the comment section. So the first image is, the first question is, the image of the object is formed on the where the image of the formed, where the image of the object is formed. What is that place part called as? I hope you all might be knowing this answer. So yes, I want the answers to be written in the comment section. Then the intensity of the light entering the eye is controlled by, means what controls the intensity of light entering the eye? Which part? Okay. Then human eye has which type of lens? Okay. What type of lens is present in our human eye? Then the part of the light that is insensitive to the light, means the part which does not respond to the light, or the part where if the image is formed cannot be seen. So what is that part known as? Then the colorful diaphragm which is responsible to give color to the eye, what is that part called? So yes, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and yes, waiting for your answers in the comment section. So until we meet again with the next video, bye bye.